Those regular viewers of the channel will know I've got into bees, and today is a very, very important day. We're coming up on Anzac Day here. It's late autumn in Victoria, Australia, and it's time to do our pack down of the hive. Now, to make sure I don't miss anything and I go through every step right, I've got Andrew here from Australian Bee Supplies. He's a wealth of information and he supplies all the gear that is used in this video. Let's get into a pack down and make sure our hive not only survives winter, but thrives in spring. Today's a very important day. All right, Andrew, good luck with the camera and wish me luck with the hive. Talk us through what we're seeing here, mate.
Here we go. Start with a frame, last one or second last one, whichever one is easier to pull out.
All right, so I'll start with the second last one closest to me. Now I'm going to put my frame tool hook into the end of the frame and I'm just going to simply lever around in an arc.
Perfect.
And that pulls it up out of the way. Then I'm going to hold this end with my hand and I'm going to do the same thing at this end away from the frame. And then we're going to pull this out but maintain it over the top of the box, aren't we?
We certainly are. Oh my goodness, that is looking good.
So that's not yet capped very much, is it? That's uncapped honey, isn't it?
Correct, it is uncapped. So this is nectar, and that means that there's still nectar coming through. It's kind of very warm for this time of year for us.
Yes.
Which is good, which means that the girls are still bringing in food. I think we've got another week and a half of warm weather. So effectively you could do your final inspection the following week. That wouldn't be a hassle. Anzac Day is just a rule of thumb more than anything. Now, it looks like I do have some hive beetle in here.
Correct. Can we have a look at that?
Yeah, hive beetle is common.
There's a few bees just here swarming it at the moment.
Yep, so hive beetle will be probably
them away.
In 90% of hives. The girls, if they're a good colony, will be able to manage them and they'll chase them out. Also, the advantage in Victoria or in the southern states is that hive beetle can't reproduce under 17 degrees. So over winter, that's not much of an issue for us as opposed to our northern beekeepers where they've got warm weather and humidity.
Now, what should I do with this particular frame? Should this go in the box lid?
So we can put it in the box lid, or you can also put it against the hive right next to it, because they can stand right next to your box right there. And
we're not worried about the queen dropping out of this at all?
I don't think we'll be worried. I didn't see it there, but she'll be hanging out there. That's no problem. Right. So now you can go check your first frame, and then you can put that frame back in its original position so you know where they are when you finish your putting all the frames back. And
it is important to keep the order right with these frames, isn't it?
Absolutely, because then depending where the brood is, where the honey is, where the pollen is, will also be dependent on what the girls do with it.
Now we've got some bees hanging around down the bottom of this frame, haven't we?
They've got a union meeting, that one. They're just hanging around.
There's a little bit of capped honey on this side.
Yep, and that over here, that is pollen. Oops, here we go. We've got pollen and bee bread in there.
Talk us through the difference between pollen and bee bread, mate, when you're looking
at it.
Show us the pollen and the bee bread, mate.
If we have a look at this frame, all this up here, that will be the capped honey. So even if we break it open like that, the girls will clean it up and they'll cap it over. And then down here, this is what we call bee bread in there. So bee bread is a combination of pollen and an enzyme that they use mainly to feed to babies. Pollen is just straight pollen. So both of them are very important. So we've got proteins and carbohydrates to make sure that the babies keep growing and get healthier and stronger.
We've got our food pyramid, only it's in the right order.
You got it.
So it's important to look at every single frame when you're doing your winter down inspection.
Absolutely.
Because you can have an unusual pattern.
Yep, so in theory they will put brood in the center 3 frames, then pollen, then honey. But some bees, as we go into winter more, will decide that they want to use it from one side and not the other side, so it just depends. Okay, so here we've got more absolutely full of honey. We've got lots of nectar still coming in. So we will probably give them a little bit of food shortly. I'm trying to concentrate at the same time as talk, and as we know,
it's hard as a man to do two things
for
at
a
once.
man doing two things is a challenge, but they are healthy. There is drones there, so there's boys there still. If there's drones inside the hive, she will definitely keep laying. Gone. So normally what we want to do with that burr comb that we have on the top, you want to scrape it off just to tidy it up. It just makes it easier also to do the inspection, and again you start picking up a little bit of beeswax, and when you're a newbie it's just new experience.
I'd struggle to make a candle out of this, wouldn't I?
Well, a small candle.
It's a bit like a small violin. Did we do this one?
Not yet.
No.
So in this hive we've got different styles of frames, so you could experience those. We've got beeswax foundation, so that's the base layer. Then we've got timber frames with plastic foundation and also full plastic foundation.
Now, one of the things I have heard is that it's a good idea to have all your frames the same, or else the bees will lay down honey differently. And I was told that they won't lay down honey in a plastic frame if there's wooden frames available. But that doesn't look to be the case in this instance, does it? Have a look at this side.
Here we go, look at that. That is nice.
That is loaded with honey on
again.
this side.
So this is a full plastic frame. One of the most important things if you're using plastic frames is normally you'll need to pre-coat it with beeswax. Some people use a sugar spray, that can work as well, but they can be hesitant of going and drawing the frame straight off. So as a rule of thumb, if you have different types of frames, they will always do beeswax foundation first, then timber and plastic foundation, then plastic foundation, usually in that order of which ones they'll fill up first. However, it's going to be dependent on the actual colony itself. So I've got colonies where they do not care and they will use the plastic and the beeswax the same. Some people insist on having bees just straight plastic or timber. In the end, it doesn't really matter. Just remember, we've got a fortnightly meeting with the girls, so we ask them, and generally they are not fast. So here, this is
pretty empty.
Yep, this is beeswax foundation. It's empty, but it's not. So if you have a look in here, Tim, over this side there, this is the foundation. So this is just the 100% beeswax, but these slightly lighter in color. So that's where they're drawing the frame. So that's the beeswax being actually created, which comes out of under the tummies, and they are expanding those cells. So if you turn that over, you'll find that this has been effectively fully drawn, which means that
They've started to fill it up now.
correct. So once they actually pull those cells out and create them out of the little beeswax, you can tell once they're putting the nectar in like this that they are bringing stuff in. And I'm trying to find a
Here's some
little...
uncapped honey here.
Yeah, so that's nectar. So nectar is usually around 90% water content, and then there is a job for a specific bee, which is a reducer.
These guys here.
Yep, and they will be reducing that 90% water content to 16 to 18%, and then it's classified as honey. Then they'll grab the little tiny beeswax, so another set of bees will come in there, create beeswax and cap it over, and then it's safe to last through winter, and that honey can last 1,000 years.
All right, so we're sort of at the edge of the honey production zone now, aren't we? And we've still got 2 frames to go
Correct.
in this box. So, oh, can you pass me the tool?
There we go.
Thank you. So, my guess is that we're going to be having a discussion around feeding at some stage, aren't we?
Absolutely, and feeding bees is a normal process. You will do it at some point regardless. And we normally feed them with sugar syrup. There's different candies and fondants that we use. They're specific for beekeeping, so it's not a cooking fondant. And we also have different type of feeders.
This is literally just the beeswax frame, isn't it?
Yep, 100% beeswax foundation. So this is made by us.
And this is not drawn, as opposed to the last frame that was drawn.
Absolutely. So this sort of beeswax here that you have, that we pulled off before, if we process that, eventually we can make it into foundation like that as well.
All right, so I'm excited. I've done my first wintering down inspection and we're ready to winter down. Now, we had a frame here that had a little bit of action going on, was basically empty, and we had 2 frames over this side that were basically empty, and we had a fair bit of nectar still coming in and honey being capped in the rest of the frames. Does this hive need to be fed over winter?
So in this situation, I would say yes. At the moment, we still have some nectar coming in, but as we said, Anzac Day should be our cut-off date for feeding and everything else in a perfect world.
Yep.
And at the moment, we've got at least 3 frames, 3 to 4 frames, let's say, which aren't fully capped.
Yep.
So what we'd like to do is actually give them resources to fill them up.
Now there's a couple of things you can do. You can put frame feeders in, you can put top feeders in. We've already done a video on that. Today we're using a different type of feeding. Tell us about this different type of feed. It's still sugar based.
Correct. So we produce a specific fondant for beekeeping, for feeding bees, and fondant is made out of white sugar at a 4 to 5 to 1 ratio with water. They're starting to get noisy, so a little puff of smoke is good. Over here we've got 2 half-kilo bags of fondant. Normally we'll use a kilo bag of fondant per hive to start off with, and we'll leave it in there for 3 to 5 days for them to eat. Because this is a really strong hive and it's heading in the right direction and it's older, we'll use the straight fondant with the vitamins in here. So we've got some probiotics that go into this one as well. And then in your other hive, which was started from the nuke, we'll give the one with the carbon in it, because that will be better on for the gut health as well, so they can process that quicker. So let's start off and we'll open them up. And this is a very simple process. You can look up some recipes at home for fondants. It does take a fair bit of work and there is a whole process to it, but it can be done. Otherwise, if you don't have the time, just come to us and we can supply you. Okay, so because we'll be putting the fondant, we will take off our mat, and these girls need to stay here. Bang, give them a little bit of a shake. We'll put it to the side. So we'll be able to process that a little bit later as well. So now I'll grab my fondant. It's not crucial exactly where you put it inside the lid. I'll normally put it where there's less bees, just to open it up. So razor blade or knife, scissors, whatever takes your fancy. So we'll open this one up like that. So now the girls, they will sniff this really quickly. So you can see already they're onto it. They love this stuff. Not because it's just sugar, but also because in different versions we have probiotics and kelp extract, and in different formulations that will allow the queen to produce more brood as well. So we use different feeding techniques at different times of year, whether we're coming into spring and we want more babies, or right now where we just want to fatten them up to get through winter. But that is done. So we'll put on our M-lock. Normally look at the weather. So at the moment at your place the weather is good, about 17 degrees next week or 2. So I'd have a look at this in about 3 days, 2 to 3 days, maybe 4 days, and it's a very, very quick look. So you'd literally go bang, open, look. If it's finished or half finished, you put in another one. So I would, in this hive, I would put in up to about 3 kilos, so 3 bags. If you can.
1 for every empty frame, 1 kilo for every empty frame.
Pretty much, yep.
So Andrew, I love rules of thumb. I think they're fantastic because we can all relate to them. Every empty frame in this hive means 1 kilo of fondant to be fed to the bees before we consider the hive to be fully wintered down. And we want about 3 to 4 days between each kilo that we apply to the box.
Absolutely. So they will utilize 1 kilo per frame, more or less. And once you fill those up and have those 3 kilos in this scenario, pull out the plastic bags and they will be ready to go through winter. And under normal circumstances, that should be fine.
Now, some people will argue that you don't have to supplement bees' feed with vitamins and minerals and carbon and those sorts of things, but you find that it does no harm to the bees and it can actually help them quite a lot in their thriving and giving you more honey.
Absolutely. Remember that this is livestock, so this is just like an Angus black or brown, and probiotics will help them. They have the same guts as we do in respect, so if we have a very healthy diet and we make sure that we have a varied amount of food, we'll be healthy in this scenario because we're going to winter and some of these foods are going to be disappearing. If we give them those extra minerals, if they don't need them, they won't use them. They'll throw them out the front, but if they do need them, they will actually process them and they'll be able to actually come out of winter much healthier, stronger, with a lot more brood coming through, and she'll be able to lay much quicker and easier.
So supplementing bee food, not necessarily always needed, but never a harm.
Absolutely. In a perfect world, it will be full of honey and full of bee bread and full of pollen, and then we don't need to give them any food whatsoever. We just have a look, do an inspection and say, ladies, I'll see you in September, and get ready for that.
So send this video, guys, to someone who needs to winter down their bees, and hit the little like and subscribe button if you like this kind of content. It's a free way to support the channel and get the message out on creating good, healthy, strong hives for spring.